Right, I wanted to make a quick video about an obscure harvest tech that can essentially trivialize both tier 16 and tier 17 harvests whilst adding anywhere from 5 to 10 divines per hour to whatever harvest strategy you are running. Not a lot of people seem to know about this, and I didn't even know about or think of this until I saw a random comment on Reddit about someone doing it. And if I had thought about it, I 100% would have done this strategy when running it imbued harvest in tier 17s earlier on in the league. Maybe it is known and people just don't see the worth in this strat, but I'm going to be going over why this is probably the single best addition you can add to your harvests using those spare scarab slots that running harvest grants if you plan on running harvest. Alright, so what's the strat, what's the tech? Well, it revolves around this notable here, Deadly Prey, and it revolves around Hunter's Cunning. What this does is every time you defeat a beast, you have a 50% chance to gain Hunter's Cunning for every time that beast respawned, and it has like a 50% chance to respawn. So if you go into a map and it has 20 beasts on average, you will end up getting around 19 Hunter's Cunning, and what Hunter's Cunning does is it grants less damage taken from beasts, increased damage against beasts, and increased quantity and rarity of items found from slain beasts. And this might seem not too great, but harvest mobs are all beasts, which means that increased damage given and decreased damage taken trivializes harvest in both tier 16 and tier 17. At 20 Hunter's Cunning, which is pretty much around the average, you will be taking 40% less damage and you will be dealing 200% increased damage, which is massive. I have a pretty good build even in tier 17 harvest. I struggled to the point where I sometimes used that scarab that uh, grants you a chance to not use the portal up. So I 100% have ran this strategy if I had thought about it. But not only does this make Harvest much easier, it buffs a lot of loot from just the rest of the map. For example, if you're running Harvest in tier 17, the Abomination map has a lot of beasts, I believe, and if you get like 20 Hunters Cunning, then you're going to be getting, 100% increased quantity of items from those slain beasts that you are then slaying. In Jungle Valley, which is the map that tier 16 Harvest is primarily ran on because of altars, uh, pretty much every single mob, including the boss in Jungle Valley, is a beast. So this increased item quantity and item rarity will be applying to that too. So it's not just to make harvest easier, it does buff the majority of mobs that are ran on the maps that Harvest is ran on. I will say it does not increase the life force dropped by Harvest mobs. Harvest mobs are kind of locked in once you've loaded up your map. The only thing that can affect it further are the quantity from altars. So the increased quantity will not affect the actual harvest mobs, but it will affect the Jungle Valley mobs, the Jungle Valley boss, some tier 17 beast mobs, and all of that. Alright, and just to prove that Hunter's Cunning is actually applying to this, I'm going to spawn a pack here, and I'm going to kill everything but the rare mob at the end, just to show you real quickly something. If you look at the rare mob's name, hover over it, there is no tag for the species it is, aka beast. There's no beast tag, but if we go out here, and we quickly get one Hunter's Cunning, hopefully it comes from this guy, do not die, that's be embarrassing. There we go. Once this guy dies, we are going to get one. If he despawns again, we'll get more. But he died, now we've got 100 Cunning. You can see the icon up here. If we hover over it, you can see what it grants, 2% less damage, 10% increased damage dealt, 5% increased quant, 5% increased rarity, all from Beast. And we hover over this guy now, and it does show that he has the Beast tag. Why would it show that if Hunter's Cunning was not applying it and, showing you what mobs are buffed by it? It wouldn't. So, Harvest beasts are affected by Hunter's Cunning, that's the proof. I will say right now, I did 25 maps with Hunter's Cunning to compare to my previous Harvest video, just to see the results and see if it is worth running. But do not run tier 16 Awakened Harvest right now, Imbued Harvest with the Horn Scarab of Awakening. The prices have soared up by like 50% and it is currently not worth it. Alright, so what scarabs do we run for this? Well, your two harvest scarabs, depending on what you want. Obviously, it's always the harvest scarab of doubling, and then either the cornucopia or awakened horn scarab of awakening for the imbue craft if you want to run that. On top of that, for the next three slots, you use two bestiary scarab of the herd that adds 10 beasts to your map, and then a bestiary scarab of duplicating. This doesn't increase the amount of hunter's cunning you will get, but it will increase the amount of money you're making from Einhar, which is a significant amount. I will say the main downside of running this with Harvest is it does add a couple of minutes to your map. However, the couple of minutes is completely negated by the amount of money you're making from Einhar. After the Einhar update and buffs, he is absurdly profitable. For example, in the 25 maps I ran with this just to see how much money I would make from Einhar, I got 12, I forgot to pick one up, but 12 of these phenomenal plagued arachnids, two vivid vultures, two vivid watchers, six Crasic chimerals, two primal cyst collars, two wild Helion alphas, and two wild bristle matrons. And these all sell for like 1800 chaos, I believe. It was like 1500 chaos profit just from trying to make harvest easier and just from trying to buff the rest of the map and Jungle Valley. So essentially like a 10 divine an hour strategy from these free scarabs alone as a byproduct of trying to make harvest easier. It's insane. Alright, and I'll just go over my tree real quickly. I'm not sure if this is optimized. I'll have a optimized version in the description if it's not. But we do take map modifier effect, obviously, except from these two because it doesn't add any map modifier effect. If you're running tier 16, you can't use chisels, so that's that. We take all the quant, obviously. We have to take 100% Einhar chance, so we go over here, and we take all of the Einhar nodes except from this one here because I checked the price for certain beasts and the sands seemed like the odd one out for how profitable it wasn't. We obviously take Deadly Prey and then we go down here and we take all of these because we need 100% Einhar and these obviously add more beasts, which means more hunters cunning, which means easier harvest, more loot from your Jungle Valley maps, which is great. We also take this just because why not? It's right here. You don't have to take this realistically. Einhar does nothing, but we do take that, and we take these nodes up here. Because you do sometimes get, 30% chance not to consume. This is like a 120 chaos, 140 chaos worth with 30% chance not to consume. So that is straight up like just an additional 40 chaos worth from these two. Um, so that's a crazy node right there. And we take all of the harvests. We take this over here. I swear down by this setup here. A lot of people are taking like I used to take fully reduced yellow, that was terrible, my bad. A lot of people are taking still both of these reduced. A lot of people are taking like reduced yellow and then like halfway through the pink and blue. My ratio with this setup is like 70% yellow juice compared to 30% blue and pink. I swear down by this. I'm certain it's the best one. If it's not, I'll be extremely surprised. We obviously take all the other harvest nodes too, and that's pretty much it. Alright, and I'll really quickly go over my wealthy exile. There's not going to be a spreadsheet for this video, but if you do want to see the type of loot you can make from either tier 16 or tier 17 harvest, I will have a video linked down below because I did make a video on that just a few days ago. Uh, anyway, decent amount of life force again though. Hunter's Cunning does not scale life force, so that doesn't matter. We got a good unique for free divines. We also got with the beasts, you get a lot of like good conversions. I got like 20 uncorrupted six links. A few of them were unique, which would sell for like 50 chaos each. I kind of just vendored them into fusings because I couldn't be, asked selling it. But a decent amount of abominations. Free avian pursuits, which in 25 maps is kind of crazy. Two of them dropped from the beast themselves, not from the harvest. Uh, Overall, I'd say the loot is pretty substantially better than before when I was running tier 16, mainly because, again, all of those beasts in the Jungle Valley are going to be buffed by the Hunter's Cunning. The boss too, I didn't kill the boss, but maybe I should have. I probably would have seen a lot more loot from this, maybe a significant amount, I don't know. but this is all the loot before the beasts, and the beasts do add like 2000 chaos extra on top of this. I will say earlier I did say that the downside of this was that beasts do add a couple of minutes to your map. Well, if you are running this, that's actually not really a downside because it will probably save you a couple of minutes from harvest on top of that. So the there's really only upsides to this. I truly think if you don't have a godlike build and you're not trying to scale absolutely the minimum maximum that you can get from Harvest, then Beast is just the perfect mechanic to pair with Harvest. You know, Harvest uses two scarabs, Beast uses three. Beast makes Harvest much easier, and Harvest is one of the rippiest mechanics in the game, especially those bosses when you accidentally roll into them, or if you're running the cornucopia. This can trivialize those two, and beasts also buff the mobs and the boss from Jungle Valley, which is the map that Harvest is pretty much required to be ran on. It is a perfect fit. I'm really surprised that I couldn't find a video on this, so I'm making one. But anyway, that's pretty much the video. The Atlas tree, the proper one, if this one isn't right, will be in the description below if you want to try this out yourself. The Bestiary Scarabs are like 2 chaos each, so if you do not have a godlike build, if you want to run Harvest, but you know the downside, the thing that's stopping you is the difficulty, then 100% give it a try with this. Even if you're even if you don't struggle with Harvest, just beasts in general are so profitable right now and go perfectly well with Harvest and buff the Jungle Valley mobs that you should probably still run it with beasts. Anyway, I might have rambled in this video. I kind of wanted to get out before I went to sleep and schedule it. So I was tired of recording this, my bad. I will say, consider subscribing. I kind of treat this channel like my personal journal. If there's anything I think that's worth posting, whether it's a strat or it's just a little tech like this, I will post it because I think stuff like this is better shared. And you know, the more people that know and have options in this game, you know, the better it's going to be and the more fun everybody's going to have. So yeah, consider subscribing, but you don't have to. And hopefully this video helped you.